Howdy, howdy, folks. Welcome back to Ball State Esports. We've got a fantastic game here for you. I am one of your casters, Chandler Whitted, also known as Grygar, joined by...
I am Daphne, also known as Kusaragal, and I got some sad news.
Yeah, what would that be?
This will be sad and also exciting news. This will be our last League of Legends stream for this semester.
Yeah, that's right, folks. This is going to be the Ball State production side's last esports game. While there are still more games, and we can shout out what teams we're going up against, but this is the last one that you'll specifically be able to see here on Twitch and YouTube from Ball State Esports.
Now, we're going to keep you updated on those future matches. Keep an eye out on our Instagram. That will be bsu.edu. We'll have a little calendar event of all the different games going on and wins after that. Again, BSU Esports for future updates.
However, it is Ball State League of Legends versus
WMU.
Yeah, Western Michigan University. So, I guess since it's League of Legends, Daphne, could you explain to the folks at home what is League of Legends?
I would love to. All right, League of Legends is a top-down MOBA of 5v5 PvP, and it's a giant map that each place has a home base that's connected by 3 lanes. These lanes include the top lane, mid lane, and bot lane, with 2 jungles going within like the little crevices of the lanes. Each of these lanes are accompanied by 2 turrets per side, so 4 turrets in total. Minions are going to be marching about, and the different players. Your top lane is going to have your bruisers and your tanks. You can play whatever character, whatever role, but these are just like general rule of thumb. Mid lane is going to be your mages and assassins. Bot lane is going to be enchanters, casters, or engage supports. Oh, sorry, that's the support. You're going to have your bot lane marksman. I got ahead of myself. The bot lane is accompanied by that support, so that way they can farm those minions, as discussed earlier, to get some gold so that they can buy some nice stuff. And within the jungle, to clear out the monsters and help gank or go into the other lanes to help out the laners, is the jungler. And there's not really a rule when it comes to jungling. Typical, you want like someone that can clear very well, clear the monsters within, and then quickly engage to help. One or the other, or possibly both. So yeah, the goal is to get the giant minion waves, destroy the towers along the way, and then make it all the way to the Nexus with the giant crystal in the middle of the enemy's base. And then that's win.
All right, and you mentioned a position there, jungler. Now,
Yeah.
Let's talk about one of our hero highlights, champion highlights rather, of this time, Zyra, which can be played as jungle.
Yes. In this graphic in particular, fun fact, she was originally supposed to be a mid laner, but then she was like, oh wait, no, she could be played support. And then after that, oh wait, she could also be played jungle. So the symbol just says support, but keep in mind that she can be played mid lane, support, and jungle. A lot of characters have this sort of ability to flex between the different roles. So looking at her passive is Guarded of Thorns. Basically, whenever she's wandering about the map, these little pods, or I guess, yeah, pods, blossoms spawn all throughout her, as long as she's not in the bush. If she's out and about, then pods will be able to spawn around her that she can interact with. If an enemy walks onto these pods, they will be eliminated. Now, going into her Q ability, which is Deadly Spines, it is a giant slow that's more of a rectangle, and whenever it hits an enemy, they are slowed. But if it hits one of those blossoms, then they will turn into a giant plant that will shoot enemies from afar. It's going to be your long-range plant. The W ability is one of those plants. It's going to be a rampant growth. Besides the passive spreading out the blossoms all throughout, with the W ability, you can place them wherever you want. So let's say you're going to have an engage on somebody. You can put down your Q, which is your giant Deadly Spines, and then have the plant there so that way it can grow wherever you want. And then the E ability is Grasping Roots. It's a straight line skill shot that goes through targets, and whenever someone gets hit by it, they're rooted. And if one of the blossoms are hit, then it turns into a melee plant that will hit enemies and slow them. And then her ultimate ability is Strangling Thorns. Whenever placed down, it's a giant circle that already does like big damage once it's placed down, and it raises the opponents up off the ground shortly, and then all of the plants that are within that circle will be enraged, so we'll shoot faster and get bigger.
Oh, wow. Okay. That was certainly a lot.
Yeah, I will went off script. This is one of my this character is played by Staples, and this character I know to heart very well.
Yeah, so I mean that's a lot. And
yes,
you did say that you play Zyra a good amount, and I will say we finally played League of Legends together. So
yes.
Folks at home, I am not a traditional League of Legends player. I don't know the game super well. I know enough to cast it and be entertaining while we were doing it. However, I've not played much of it. And ever since I started casting for it with Daphne here, Daphne's been trying to get me to play League of Legends with them, and we finally did it yesterday. And Daphne, how would you say that went?
I say it went pretty well. It was nice to be in a low elo lobby.
Yeah, so I'm not particularly good at the game. I don't
That's
play
just
my
your
role
level.
particularly well.
It's just your level. With like whenever you have a lower level, you're gonna be queued up with a bunch of other lower levels. That's fine. I got to run around the map as Zyra. It was great.
Yeah, I'm being told that in my ears that I need to have a positive mental image.
Yeah.
And I think the best way to do that is to compare myself and try and be as good as the greats. Now, let's take a look at the greats and see the roster for Ball State.
All right.
Now, once that is able to come up, we've got a whole host of folks. Now, there are more than 5, as you'll notice. League of Legends is 5v5, but this is our entire roster. So if you would like to go through these names.
All right. We have Silk Flannel, which is going to be our top laner. Remy is going to be the jungler. Wombat Baby is going to be mid lane, and we have 2 potential bot laners. It's going to be Ali Plane and Chumpslog, and 2 potential supports, and that's going to be Quokka and Staples. Now, this doesn't mean that they're going to be like 100% stuck on this role, but this is the roles that they prefer. They're strong roles.
Yeah, and we've seen a spectacular season from them thus far. We have gone undefeated thus far, so we will see if we'll be able to continue that as we go up against Western Michigan University.
Yes, so let's go ahead and see if we can take a look at the Western Michigan roster.
All right. Now, right here we have their roster. As you can see, we don't necessarily know what lanes or roles they're going to be playing, but we do at least have their names here, and you might see some variation between this and their in-game names.
I will say, with the comes to making the graphics of this, there are a bunch of little words meshed together. So we have Vexa, Arcane, Enav. I apologize for not pronouncing this right. Enav 458, Prime Evil, The Real Oboe, TY Co, and J Sil. How would you pronounce some of those that I did butcher a little bit of those?
Yeah, I mean, I think those are particularly all right pronunciations. I mean, we can't fully know exactly what they're meant to be, so I think you did as good as you can, because some of those are not natural human or English words, rather.
Wow.
Some of these aren't
as
human.
Someone that took two words together and brought them into one for my thing, I have huge respect to that.
Mine's Grygard. That doesn't make sense. That's not words, so I can't be too judgy. All right.
All right.
Well,
it is about the same size roster as Ball State, so less names to memorize. Now, as far as how this is gonna go, are you ready to think of how this is going to go?
Yeah, so we are going to write down our match prediction here on these boards here, and we can flip them around. And if you'd like to play around at home, see what we think is going to happen, or you can give your own predictions in chat, we are going to write those down. So, Daphne, what have you put?
I'm going to put, we've been going on a great win streak, and going into Ball State's going to soon be hitting spring break. So I think it would be a really great show, and I would want to see a 2-0 Ball State win.
I think, yeah, finishing out the production season for Ball State with 2-0 would be spectacular. However, if we really wanted to put on a show, we could go 2-1. We could make it a relatively long one.
Have us stay here longer.
Yeah. Just really grind out as much of this content out for you. Make us have to talk about just a great deal of amount of things and stall for time, really.
No, but one of the things that you did mention with the WMU roster is there was a Mel player. Now, Mel, I don't know how she looks after the nerfs, constant nerfs, because Riot didn't know what they did.
Naturally,
she doesn't really have a counter, so it's like, it can be terrifying.
Yeah. So, recently, especially when it comes to ranked play and competitive play like this, we can expect a Mel ban, and if you watched the hit Netflix show Arcane, then you know the character Mel, and naturally, when a character comes out in a game, they're not particularly tweaked because they haven't been tested as much as maybe they should be, but Mel has proven to be quite a foe on the Rift, so finally, Mel has received a couple of nerfs, and we'll see whether or not Ball State or WMU still sees it as a threat to have on the field. So when it comes to having game, there is a selection and ban phase, so we will see our players select their players and their champions, and they will be able to ban 5 of them. So recently we've seen a lot of Mel bans, so it wouldn't be surprising if we saw that now.
I'd say for the future of this game, I say it's vital, if that. And I am a firm believer that whenever a character is first released, they overtune that character a little bit so that way they get more playtime. I'm an avid believer. We had that happen with Ambessa. We had that happen with Hui. We had that happen Smolder. Oh my god. So yeah, that's just my little belief. Nefiri.
All right, but Ball State has banned a good amount of champions here. I keep wanting to call them heroes because of other games, but I want to take a look. After 8 games, I want to see who Ball State has banned the most. Now, these bans could be curated specifically to the team that they're going up against, or it could be particularly whatever could counter the champion that they are going to be playing. Now, last time we spoke, there were a lot of ties on the bans. However, last 2 games have really settled it down. The most banned champions by Ball State is Rel and Karma.
Karma, it makes sense. Karma's ultimate, I know Karma's ultimate's not like anyone else. Unlike with ultimates, you get that at level 6. Karma gets it at level 1, and she can enhance her abilities just right off the bat. Does take off a lot of mana, though. So that's very interesting as far as like going into maybe it counters with Ball State's gameplay. They want to be pushing in, getting through the game as quickly as possible, so that way there's no late game scaling. That could be a character that fights along that, along with Rel. Rel's really good at bouncing back. If you have a very weird dive, and Rel's really good at just jumping back and like, okay, nah, you made the mistake. Bye.
And the other 4, so there is a tie for second place, as there was a tie in first place. The other champions that are most banned by Ball State are going to be Jarvan, 4, Corki, Wukong, and Galio.
Because I said something about Galio real quick. With Galio is, there's 2 types of damage in League. There's going to be AD damage, is attack damage, and ability power, which is AP. Mel, or basically a lot of characters that Wombat Baby plays, I'm going to use Wombat Baby as an example for Mel, is an AP champion. So Galio is a huge like counter to Mel. I think the only counter that I can really think of.
So, I mean, that makes a lot of sense, especially when it comes to playing against the overtuned Mel, which came out relatively early within this season. It makes sense that Galio would make the top of this list, but those are going to be our most banned, and we have a sort of tradition when it comes to while we wait for the first game.
There's a lot of characters in League, so many characters. So why not make a little game and see if we can guess a certain character?
Yeah.
We like to show you a little spin-off of Wordle known as Lodal, where you guess the champion and as far as other content. So here we are looking at the game. It's a daily game, kind of like Wordle. So would you like to give it a go?
All right.
Are you gonna say Misfortune?
I'm not gonna say Misfortune, just in case it is Misfortune, and I'd like to sort of build it up. I'm gonna build up hope that it's. Don't you dare submit Misfortune. However, let's put
Zyra, since it's the character of the day.
Yeah, and there's a bit of a curse when it comes to your champion highlights where they won't be chosen. So give them as much screen time as possible.
All right. Not a support, ranged, mana. It's a woman.
Unironically, when did Misfortune come out?
I think she's one of the earliest champions, but we can try her.
Unironically, put Misfortune.
Misfortune. I mean, it'll take out the ADC role.
Please, I beg you. I beg you.
It was like, nah, you had your chance. You had your chance to pick Misfortune. Now it's gone. Yeah, that one.
Okay,
I was so ready.
They're not. They're
part
kind of
human. She don't build water, huh? I didn't realize that. Yeah, I thought she was one of the older champions. Not from bot lane. Let's just go through the lanes. Mid lane.
Ari?
Ari? We can try Ari's a spirit. I think Ari's just spirit, but we can just throw in Ari to see if we get mid lane. Second. There you go. Not a spirit, but type of spirit.
It is middle.
Ionia is from mid, a little older, so definitely not LeBlanc. That's one of the ones I thought of immediately because it's gonna be a mage, obviously. Ionia.
Yep, that's certainly an area, folks. Now, I don't know the lore too much or where people are from, but when we get to the quote, because I know the titles of champions, I might be able to just sort of Hail Mary it. However, I don't have any guesses for what this might be.
I might just start guessing casters. Can I get an Annie?
Annie?
Annie.
The Dark Child? Behold, Dark Child?
The whole Dark Child.
Actually?
No!
No, you got it.
What do you mean she's from Noxus?
Obviously, come on.
When I think of Barbarian, I think of Ant. Actually, no. All right, so human, magic born. How old is Zoe? Throw me a Zoe.
I'm just waiting for the quote to come up.
Throw me a Zoe.
So after we give so many guesses, it will...
She's labeled as a support now? Huh. I didn't realize that she's actually acknowledged as a support.
It was because of Staples' last game that we...
Oh, yeah, makes sense. That means I can't be flamed anymore when I pick her. All right. Aspect human, not human magic born. Karma's a support, so it can't be that.
Okay. Well, I mean, we've got one more guess before quote clue. And do you have anything else to throw out for middle? We know the year 2012. I know that doesn't help most people. So just any mid lane, and it could give us a pretty large chance of getting
mid lane. But I definitely do want to think about it because it is a magic born, so it is definitely a mage.
Okay, I'll give you some time to speak, and I'll just entertain the audience. So
let's go ahead and throw in the guess so we can go through the rest of it. Just give me LeBlanc. I know she's from Noxus. I know it's not gonna be the right one.
LeBlanc the Deceiver.
All right. Let's see what the quote clue is.
So much untapped power. What in the world?
Hi, man. All right, go, guys. Come on, you got this.
This doesn't help me.
There's so much untapped power.
Okay.
It's giving Veigar, but I know it's not Veigar because Veigar's a man. It's also okay. So much untapped power. Seems like an older.
Well, we have all green.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean much for me.
Anyway, it's from Ionia. It's like talks like this, I assume.
Okay. Pull up my Quizlet.
We're not pulling up the Quizlet. Oh, context. Since he doesn't know League, he does study all his knowledge is through Quizlet, and it's actually crazy. Okay, so much untapped power. I feel like she talks it like this, and lets it yodel, and it's a real high-pitched voice.
Okay. Well. This is all you.
I know this is all me. Thanks. Okay, so Campy LeBlanc. What sucks is that I am. Is Talia considered? Talia's older though. Throw in Talia.
Okay.
It just buys me time.
It's definitely
to think.
Tom Kench.
Okay, I figured it would be. We are like narrowing it. We're narrowing it down. I thought she was a later champion. Okay, now I'm going through the Star Guardians. Like, I feel like this character has to be a Star Guardian at some point.
Star Guardian.
There's skin lines in the game, and Star Guardian's one of them. It's a really cute skin line. It's not Lux. No, Lux is from Demacia. She screams it whenever throwing her ult. We could do this. We could do this. And chat, if you want to get involved, and then we can hear some answers back, that would be very helpful.
Chat, load up Lodal, start going through as many as you can, and when you figure it out, throw it in chat so we can figure it out.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, so in 3 minutes, we're gonna sit here for 3 minutes. There's a 3-minute delay.
No, we're not doing that. No.
Well, then solve it.
Solve it. I've been doing all the guesses.
Mel. No, it's not Mel.
No, it's not Mel.
Okay. Well.
How am I not thinking mages? It's all I play.
Yeah, so 2012.
Magically altered human, so it looks... Just throw in Karma. Just real quick. Yeah, so just support. I know she's been played mid before. She is from Ionia. I did get that right. It is around that date range. Yeah, I know that. I know that. That doesn't help. I know that.
Now, what does Magic Born mean? Tell me that.
Basically, okay, we're going into League of Legends. You know how everyone was trying to make magic? These people are born with it. Like Mel.
Okay. Then...
Is it considered cheating if we can look through the alphabet and like just look at the options? Is that considered cheat? Syndra or Lysandra? I keep forgetting about those two characters.
Syndra, the Dark
Syndra.
Sovereign?
I forget about those characters. Yeah, that'd explain it.
It took a while, but you know, it was gotten not by us.
I completely forgot about Syndra.
Yeah, last time we played, I sniped it with the quote because of my title knowledge, but...
Yeah, so much power. I've never played Syndra. I think last stream that we casted, there was a Syndra, I feel like.
Potentially.
I remember casting for a Syndra game. I don't remember if it's the last one or not.
Okay. Well...
He's going through the Bible.
But... I do take notes on everything, however, what? Okay, so we've got more time to stall for.
We can still do the quote.
Yeah, we can keep going through the modes.
We can keep going through the game modes. We can get through his quote one.
Okay, so we'll just keep going, and we'll talk about. So. Ball State, we're hoping for a spectacular game here. And generally one of the best ways to keep track of who's in the lead is going to be kills and who has the most gold. So in the top bar, you're going to see gold and various other stats, but we're going to be mostly looking at the gold, and Ball State has had a pretty good gold lead when it comes to gold, and I've been able to calculate those averages and lowest, and using a little bit of math, Ball State averages a now 14.5k gold difference between the other team. However, that is turned a lot lower because Ball State almost lost one of their games against Ohio University
It was a very close game. Goal differences were going off back and forth. It was the second game, and they were messing around with it, just having a good time. They ran Shogat's Zoe in the bot lane.
Yeah, and they actually ended with a 500 gold loss, so Ohio
Yes.
was actually in the lead there. So considering that as an outlier, it's
It was a quite an entertaining game. Definitely an underdog story. A great watch. All right.
Yeah, so us casters were sort of just like stun locked. We're just like, oh, what do we talk about? We don't usually
What? This isn't part of the plan?
We're not on the ropes. This is
Well, while we prepare for that, why don't we just cut to just a quick commercial break to hear from Ball State.
The Frog Baby for luck and beneficence for guidance. You're a Ball State Cardinal when you chase your dreams, present your case, and win. When the university you call home is small enough to be a community, but big enough to change the world. You know you're a Ball State Cardinal when you're one of us. We are Ball State University. We fly.
And welcome back, folks. So we've got a couple facts about Western Michigan I'd like to share with you. So going back on the sort of combat record when it comes to tournaments. So Western Michigan has gone on a, here, let me make sure that I have it correctly. They've won 3 games and they've lost 4 games. They've won 4 games and lost 4 games
nope.
if you count the bye week, but I do not. So as we sort of go into this, we can see what each plan is. So we have WMU on the left and we have Ball State on the right. So be cheering on the right if you're watching our broadcast. And we do have a ban on Xerath and
Anivia.
And I do know that Anivia is one of the mains for WMU. So that is a very targeted ban on them. So we'll see if that continues. A Draven ban from WMU. So as we sort of go into this, are you seeing...
I'm definitely seeing some interesting bans, because especially the Xerath ban. I don't know if that's either a rage ban or maybe it just nerfs the character, but Xerath is more of like an annoyance, kind of like Shaco, rather than like a big competitive character. Because there's
Taric ban.
So we're going after a support. And then we have a Darius ban and loading up our last ban.
All right, so Ball State's last ban until we go and there we go. Gragas. I hate pronunciation. But we'll see what is the first pick when it comes to WMU. So they are on a 4-game lose streak right now, but this could turn it around. A Nautilus pick.
From Renegade Gang, we have a Nautilus pick, and then Trundle. Looks like we were a little bit mixed between the selections, so it's gonna be Nautilus, probably support, Trundle, and we have a Kha'Zix pick. I haven't seen either of these gameplays with Ball State yet. We have a Lilia jungle pick and a Mel. There she is.
Yep.
Oh, no, she's not.
It was just a hover. And will we get another arcane character? Yumi the Magical Cat?
No, we're not getting... Okay, yeah, they're messing with us a little bit. I think they're delaying the inevitable...
Annie.
I was really close with you with the Lodal. I was so close. It was a really close call.
All right, will we see Wombat Baby's usual Ari or even a Mel pick? We saw some spectacular picks. We saw some spectacular skill shots with Wombat Baby and Mel against Ohio University. So going back into the last ban phase, we'll see who Ball State is going to target here.
Covering, definitely a lot to think about, especially when we're going into... Looks like we already had the ADC ban for... WMU. We don't have one for Ball State yet.
Scion.
Looks like we have a Scion ban. And now hovering over to WMU. Definitely taking a lot of time to think about this, which this can determine games depending on if you make this.
Yeah, Diana ban.
We have a and then a Gnar, and now waiting for that last ban.
And then we'll go back into the selection phase where we will get our ADC and support picks. So typically that's going to be bot lane, and that's going to be Dr. Mundo.
I definitely see the bans have shifted around because we had to move some of the characters around. I guarantee that Nautilus top lane is going to be moved over to support. We have an Ezreal ally lane. I'm excited to see that. Usually get that from, I think, Chumpslog, so this is going to be a fun watch. And there's the Rel.
Right. No longer fearing Rel and banning them. We're going to be going specifically into it. So they have some time to switch around which of these champions these players are going to play, but we're not seeing any particular swapping yet. So
maybe Nautilus is a tank, and he has high mobility with moving around with his hook, so I guess he can see him in the top lane.
Yeah. So I mean, it's certainly an unconventional pick, but like Daphne was able to explain, all of these champions are able to be played anywhere. So we could see some non-meta picks. So,
right.
I mean, we could just be completely blown away, or we might see some changes around here. However, are you seeing anything specifically that you think we should take a look at or be a little fearful of from WMU?
I mean, besides the Mel herself standing above, it's definitely a dive in. I'm going to eliminate you as fast as possible and then back as fast as possible type of game that we're looking at right now, especially with the Kha'Zix. I haven't really gotten into Kha'Zix yet. Ezreal has a basically flash on W. I believe flash is on W. The fact that we're getting some Lilia love is insane. Lilia is really good at poking out bruisers. Whenever she uses an ability on an opponent, she gets faster. So in theory, she has a giant whip ability where she kind of swings a giant ball around like a ricochet. So in theory, she can like boop, 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 and just kite people out really well. As a jungle, I believe she started off top lane, like whenever she was like first made, and then went into the jungle role. So, and I think that's where her like best place is right now. So I'm excited to see that.
Yeah, so I think now I'm really excited to see some more gameplay of Mel from Wombat Baby, because there were some really spectacular plays from the last game that we casted together. So somebody flashed over an obstacle and they couldn't see them, but Wombat Baby was still able to use one of their abilities and hit him and get that kill. So I'm really hoping to see some sort of fast-paced gameplay that we're used to when it comes to Ball State. Ball State is notorious for really ending games as quick as possible, usually ranging between like 20, 25, maybe 30 minutes, but they're usually very quick games, so we might see a pretty speedy stream tonight.
Or it could be an Ohio situation.
An Ohio situation where we kind of screw around in the second round, and then it actually takes a lot longer than it probably should have. But
I think out of all the characters, I guess Nautilus scales the most. I never really saw Nautilus as a big scaler, in my opinion. Other than that, thinking back, Bard is a character that's better on later on in the match, but I think all the other ones are just, besides ADCs are going to scale later on. That's their whole job. But Ball State is, when it comes to first engage and risk of later game, I think they have a very big advantage.
All right. Well, I guess we'll see eventually when we are able to head into game. So now we could get back into a little bit of the information on WMU before the game starts, but and
it's going to start right when you get into it.
Yeah, we might be shut off immediately, but yeah, so Ball State has gone undefeated thus far, and Western Michigan has won against Ball State back in 2022, so it's been a bit, and Ball State's gotten pretty beefy over those last couple of years. WMU has gone 6-7 in the last 2 years, so they won 6 games and lost 7. So pretty even there, but Ball State has gone 13-0 and 12-1 in those last games. So with a continuation on that, we'll see if WMU will be able to surprise us if we go into the game.
Perfect timing.
Yeah, it is time to put on a show for you guys. So, what are we seeing here, Daphne?
We are seeing a engage possibly stealing the blue buff, my bad. The enemy team's blue buff. And they don't see them on the blue buff, so some of them are taking back. And we're seeing on WMU's side, they're checking the opponent's blue buff. They really, I guess in the end, they both have security over the blue buff. And now they're returning back into their lanes. They really just came for the vision, and not knowing where the other ones are. Both teams know that the other team is on red. I love that thumbs up. That is by far one of my favorite emotes. I haven't unlocked it in the game yet, but I really want to. I right now have a Draven thumbs up.
All right. Well, I mean, we see a good amount of shenanigans when it comes to Ball State before the minions come in. So we've seen all of them rush down mid, bottom. So sort of just taking out minions. This is a pretty slow part of the game until we get an engage.
We can definitely see a lot more action going on in the bot lane. Rel being one, as mentioned earlier, jumping in, just trying to get some pokes off on the Bard while initiating a possible early level 2. They wait for that final melee minion to collapse. I believe this is the second minion wave. No, this is the first minion wave. They're just gathering space. And once that third melee minion dies on the second wave, that's when bot lane queues up for level 2. And then there we go. We see a flash off by the Bard. It was able to escape under turret and lead off, but I don't think it matters. We see a flash on the pose, and Staples is able to poke off his engage and get the kill. That is going to be a double kill for the bot lane. One-on-one kill as Lilia trying to keep up, but isn't able to. Genesis has to retreat back. All of them at very, very low HP, and that just happened in very first minutes.
Yeah, and so this is something that we see pretty continuously from Ball State, particularly when it comes to alley plane and Staples. They're really they're big risk takers, and they really just go in, and even if they're on low health, if there's a chance that they can grab that kill, then they will dive in.
All right, we do see some poking off going on, and I think the Trundle flashing in under turret and securing the kill on the Nautilus, and survives the dive.
All right, and there we go. Ball State has gotten 3 kills thus far, going in for a pretty solid start to the game. We got one of those feats of strength there. If Ball State is able to secure one more, then they will be able to upgrade themselves with the strength of Noxus and be able to upgrade their boots. So, small little change, doesn't mean much if you don't play League of Legends, but here we are, watching a bit of an engage between mid lane and going down to bot lane.
And we're just going down the bot lane. They were able to back, and since they had a lot more gold, they're not as high as far as level since they weren't around the minion wave as long. Okay, there we go. Staples now got the level back. Oh, we're going to the top lane. We do see a wave crashing. Oh, now we're going in mid, just seeing backing, potential jungle, and now we're going into bot. The flash in with alley plane, I think that was just the ability. And Remy is able to jump in and secure a engage and takes down Wolf Blood. And in the process, Staples falls to turrets.
Yeah, so as long as a champion is able to damage you within the last 10 seconds before you die, even if you die to turret, they will get the gold from your kill. So, gotta be careful, and if you are going to die, it's best to do it 10 seconds after you take damage from somebody.
I'll say that gank was very well orchestrated. That's the early ganks that I'm gonna see coming from that Kha'Zix constantly.
Yeah, Remy able to sort of traverse through those jungles and help out where they can.
All right, Nautilus was able to pull off a root, but I don't think it's going to matter. He still has his cute ability to escape, and here comes Lilia for a gank. Is able to root the Trundle again, and Nautilus does die, but Genesis was able to kill Blaster, Silk Flannel.
Yeah, so it's sort of a 1-for-1 there, and we have sort of a roaming from Staples there, heading between lanes there.
All right, Staples is able to help this Bard engage and possibly take down the Annie. Staples jumps in, but then gets stunned by Annie. Wamabe is able to secure the kill on Noah, and now Bard is in a very bad position, and Staples is able to secure a kill against the Bard.
So this is something that we sort of saw when it comes to Ohio back when we casted for that. sort of Ohio was able to really get behind on some of our mid lane champions and sort of shred them in a gank. And it's nice to see that on Ball State's side.
What we just saw was while Trundle is ahead, is able to take some of the jungle camps, so that way they can't really, the jungler can't scale as high as our jungler, who is going through Lilia's jungle as we speak. And now Silk Flannel asserting dominance with his newfound space. He's like, what you gonna do? And we see the jungler Genesis slowly but surely coming up top river as Remy takes down the dragon with Staples.
Yeah, and it seems like this is going to be completely uncontested. It seems that WMU doesn't have any vision on the dragon right now, so this might go completely uncontested for the duration of dragon, which could give Ball State a pretty big advantage here, bigger than they already have.
We do see a bit of an engage going on top river. We see Staples and Trundle taking out, oh no, we were looking at bot lane now, where they were able to jump on the Bard and slain Wolfblood really quickly, I might add.
And there goes Dragon in Ball State's favor, and might be a capture here on Genesis from Remy, but no, they're able to get under turret, but Remy will be taking those jungle monsters.
There's not going to be, when it comes to jumping into unwatered sides, oh, we do see an engage, and both players under turret taking out Varus. This is the type of gameplay that you're going to be seeing constantly with Aliplane and Staples. Just jump in real quick and burst them out before Varus can draw any arrow. We do see Bard jumping in, possibly getting them off the turret, but we're moving up to top lane now with Silk getting back some CS and Nautilus taking the time to go back. Where's those Renegade?
All right, and here we can see sort of those scores alongside the avatars in the bottom UI there for League of Legends. We have the CS scores and sort of seeing how well each of these players are able to farm here. And Ball State has the lead for the most part, except for when it comes to the support role, but CS in the support role doesn't matter too much.
I'm going to say we're going to see that less with Rel, since Rel has to melee the minions to get their CS, while Bard has the ability to have range. But as far as CS, Aliplane has double compared to House. How would you say that? House, the big house?
Yeah, I'm cool with calling them the big house. Either of those seem great to me, but Ball State really just loves diving under towers, and that's that aggression that is able to end games real early. So this might be the makings of a quick 20-minute game.
And as we're seeing with, oh no, we're going into bot lane now. Aliplane's at a very low health, and there's a possible gank with Genesis trying to bring Cruds over. And we have Staples protecting, stunning Genesis, and drawing them closer and closer to under turret. Aliplane taking a very aggressive angle with Lilia, level 5, really close to level 6, which grants her a sleep ability. Now we're going up to the top lane. Oh, now back in bot lane, Aliplane at a very, very critical health state. Varus, big house, is taking that aggression while has the opportunity to jump in and possibly get a kill. Bard taking the time to back, and now we're going into top lane. Nautilus taking time to back as well, as Silk takes down a tower plating, and Nautilus is like, nope, I ain't dealing with that. And now we have another tower dive since Bard is now gone and is able to secure another kill. Aliplane's health has not dwindled in these past few seconds.
Yeah, Aliplane just consistently is playing against health. Even if he's low health, there are certainly a good amount of things that he is able to get done.
I'm going to say he knows his limits, and we do see something going on in the bot lane right now. We do see a gank from the Lilia, and Ezreal's at very low health. Oh, Aliplane does fall to Lilia, and Bard gets the shutdown. Well, since Bard got the shutdown, that's not crazy.
Yeah, so, I mean, when it comes to this gold deficit, and we have a 6,000 gold deficit in favor of Ball State, they're able to go back to their base and spend those on items. And we're sort of seeing regular meta picks on items here. So we actually see, I believe Trundle is building a bit of a lifesteal build. So able to sort of keep his health up, even if he takes damage from opposing champions or even turrets. So as we sort of head into the later minutes of this game.
Oh, we do see a Remy kill on the Genesis. Now there's no jungler, so now Remy is able to freely take these camps. Annie is backed up under her turret. All she has to support her is the Bard. Now we're going into top lane. We already secured the tier 1 turret for Ball State. Now we need the tier 2. Nautilus guarding it, using his stun ability whenever he can, but it doesn't matter. Trundle, Silk Flannel is able to poke out Nautilus before he hits under turret. We did see a Nautilus ult that was a CC uproot, and it doesn't matter. Silk Flannel took little to no damage at all, which is unfortunate when it comes to the top lane pick from Nautilus. Renegade is trying so hard, has his W ability, trying to engage. Trundle stops, Silk Flannel stops the engage from Nautilus, trying to kite him out, and Nautilus survives.
Yeah, this is some of the most aggressive gameplay that we've seen from Silk Flannel thus far in the season. So it's not usually normal to see all of those towers fall on top lane rather than bot lane in first. So pushing in to the camp and the
Nautilus stuns with the passive and stuns Silk Flannel in, but he's committed. He's like, nah, I'm taking this turret with me. Bard is coming in to help Renegade. And now we're going over Ezreal, alley plane, shooting his ultimate, possibly getting a kill on the Nautilus, but he's too high health. And I think Silk Flannel's gonna die here, and the wave is not able to make it to an inhibitor, unfortunately. But that was a very big push by Silk Flannel. And now we're gonna see Mel, making up with her Q ability, is able to do a lot of damage from such a far distance. I don't think Wombat Baby knows. There he is. Now Wombat Baby can see the Lilia Genesis right at that spot, but Staples is at Raptors. Oh, there we go.
Well, yeah, you are
Genesis
not able
almost
to
walked
hide.
right past Staples, just blending in with those chickens.
Yeah. All right, and we do see a second dragon spawn there, so the dragon is unleashed. And we will see who is able to capture a second dragon, but it might not matter as we continuously see towers fall.
Genesis trying his best to jump in on the team, but then gets stopped by Mel Slow. We do see some poking out, but we need the full engage. Here we go, Bard jumping in with the ability, and Mel stun. Remy is able to secure a kill on Noah, and we have Bard stun. Staples gets on a killing spree against the house, and now Rooted and Bard also falls as well. Huge scaling potential for Mel. Not a lot of kills compared to Alley Plane and Rel, but we do see tier 2 mid turret fall, and possibly we're gonna get tier 3 with this huge wave. A huge 2 players are passed on in WMU, and they're not really doing much about it. We are trying to help defend tier 2 bot lane as Silk Flannel defends that as well. They're all scattered throughout the map.
Yeah, and we were able to see a pretty quick return here.
Oh, Genesis falls down by Mel, and as the huge wave, we did see Annie pull out Tibbers, the giant bear. Here he comes, he's going after Alley Plane. Nope, he's going after Staples, the tank. And Nautilus jumps in and uses ult on all 3 of them. Big House takes down Remy. Alley Plane trying to escape, but isn't able to. That's a double kill for Varus. And now we're jumping into Staples. Staples is trying to run away, is able to jump out thanks to Trundle. Silk Flannel pathing slowly but surely towards the top jungle, is able to use the red balloon, I call it, to get out of there. Now Silk Flannel hiding in there. Oh, he gets warded. Oh, he gets found out. Silk Flannel slowly but surely dying, but Staples is jumping back, flashes in and is able to stun one of them. It kills Noah, and now there's a 2v1 right now against Wolfblood, trying to escape the Staples and blast her. That was such a weird exchange. Oh, Staples is still committed to that fight. And now here's Wombat Baby, was returned, possibly going to take down Lilia, slowly but surely poking her out. Oh, doesn't land the root, unfortunately, as Genesis uses the E, possibly to sleep one of them, so that way they can get an advantage. Wombat Baby is now sitting in bush, waiting for one of the poken. Oh, has vision. Wombat Baby slows both Genesis and Wolfblood. This is just going to be a huge fight for this one little tier 2 turret that they're just committed to. And
a lot of team fights here, so...
Yeah, I was going to say, there's a whole lot going on. We have a Genesis takes down Remy as well. We have, there we go. Unfortunately, Silk Flannel does fall, leaving Wombat Baby all on his own. He's lonely.
Yeah, I think sort of at this point, what we should be looking for from Ball State is sort of them maybe grouping up as they are scattering. It's sort of not necessarily working out for them, and team fights are kind of a 50-50 right now between Ball State and WMU. So we might rather see a big group up between Ball State instead of these small pokes and staggering their kills.
I beg to differ, because the amount of times that the team has to switch back and forth because they can't slay minions. And we do see big team fight going on right now. Staples and Alleyplane are very low health. Staples jumping in and gets the shutdown. Varus gets a shutdown on Staples, and Alleyplane is soon to fall as well, trying to run away as quick as possible. I don't think he has flash up, but everyone uses flash and is unable to escape the Bard teleport. And now we have Blaster challenging 2 people for 1. Now he knows that the team is up in top lane, is able to get a kill on the top laner Nautilus, and is running away with huge minion wave under turret. And you said that they needed to team up, but honestly, with characters such as Ezreal and Trundle and Rel that can jump in and out of fights really quickly, them staggering a whole bunch of different fights, putting pressure in all the different lanes it can be quite scary for WMU if they don't know how to counter it.
Understandable, but WMU is sort of grouping up, trying to pick these apart, so this might be working now, but I'm a little sketched out when it comes to it. I'm expecting sort of the worst to come up, and we do have, so we're able to see some healing from the Trundle on bot lane with those lifesteal items there. So what do we see on screen here?
We do see Ball State taking the opportunity to take out Rift Herald while seems like most of WMU, if not all, is towards the bot jungle. And will we possibly be getting a Shelly dance? That's what we want to see. We want to see a Shelly dance on the stage in the base. Please make the wishes come true. Who picked it up? It looks like Remy did pick up. We do see that in the 4th slot of the items as we slowly but surely take out top inhib, Mel Wombat Baby leading the wave right to it, but not committing to that inhib fight just yet. We did see Alleyplane score a kill on Bar Wolf, and now we're bringing in a huge minion wave into the mid area. We have 3 people coming up from the bot lane, and here we go. We see Rift Herald spawn and going straight into turret, taking a huge amount of damage and now going towards the second turret as a huge fight commences. We have Renegade dying to Staples, and for that, Remy sleeps by Lilia, but then flashes in, gets a kill on Lilia, and all that's left is Big House and Bard has respawn. Quick respawn timers, by the way. We have Alleyplane trying to focus on just poking out the opponents while still having just a little bit HP. Wamafe trying to escape is able to secure a kill on Wolfblood with barely any HP to spare, and it is now taking the time to back while Staples and Remy is bringing in the giant wave. Big House isn't really able to do much about it. It's just a little guy, and now there's a giant wave going in. There's nothing stopping it. He's armed and dangerous. Staples going back into the Nexus. Oh, and they're trying to retreat. Oh, such a low health. That was such a really close fight. 2 of them fall immediately. Wombat Baby trying to escape is able to root and kill Genesis. Renegade Gang is able to root and take down Wombat Baby, but I don't think has a lot of damage to fight this Mel. Mel does have the execute still available, and I think as well as the ult. And there we go.
Nexus fall down here. So as we have Silk Flannel down at the Nexus attacking it, there's nothing that will stop this, and there goes the first round before the 20-minute mark.
That was a lot of fights going on at once. I did not expect okay, we're going here, and over here, and over here. That never happens.
Yeah, so you are the play-by-play caster, and I was just sort of sitting here thinking, should I butt in? I feel like they need oxygen at some point.
And there we go. We want to take a little look at what we're seeing right here.
All right, so it looks like we've got about a 13.8k gold disparity here, so we're giving a thumbs up to the players here. But as we sort of look at this, it's a pretty good lead when it comes to almost double the kills. This was certainly a game.
Yes, we do see a lot of, we could definitely see simply by CS. I mean, not even looking at kills, we could see it with CS provides a lot of gold, and we had a huge CES disparity, especially with the Nautilus, Lilia wasn't able to get a lot of CS from her jungle camps, unfortunately, because Remy was just in there 24/7. And now we're looking at, I believe this is damage. Yes, Ezreal. We see Ali playing with 21.7k damage, which is the most damage of the night. And that's, looking at that, that is almost double the most damage by WMU's Annie. So yeah, that was definitely a huge game, especially for Ali playing.
Yeah, and sort of as we get ready for the next match here, now our guesses on 2-0 on Ball State's side is looking pretty good thus far, but what do you think as we're sort of getting ready for round 2? What are you expecting, maybe ban-wise?
Mel?
I think that would be pretty solid, but I mean, our players, and naturally you need to have this already when it comes to League of Legends, especially when you get to the deeper leagues, when it comes to tournaments and stuff like this. You've got to have backup characters. So each of our players, whether it be Wombat Baby, Remy, or Silk Flannel, they all have backup characters. So they're not just a one-trick pony here. Now, something that we haven't seen thus far is Silk Flannel with their Fiora, which is all I've heard is how notorious it is for being just so captivating and just so easily to mush the other team. But we haven't been able to see that thus far, so I'm hoping our last broadcast, maybe we can see it once. But no, we're seeing a lot of different champions chosen, and while we do have particular mains and sort of them go with the metas like Wombat Baby and Mel, I think we're probably gonna stick away from the things that we're hoping for. We're probably not gonna get a Zyra pick. We're probably not gonna get a Fiora pick. We're definitely not getting my favorite character, Miss Fortune pick. So
I mean, we did see Ali playing just walk right here. You could have begged. You could have gone on your hands and knees. Please play Miss Fortune for me. But
no.
As far as other predictions go, just how well they did, I don't see there being another Nautilus pick. I'll be so honest.
Yeah, I mean, and we can expect sort of a ban from really any of those sort of picks, and I'm wondering if Ball State is going to keep up with their bans that are targeted towards WMU, and especially with the Anivia ban. So one of their players is a pretty large Anivia main, so maybe if Ball State is able to let go of that Anivia ban and WMU is able to do that, then maybe they might be able to pull something in this next round, or at least not get crushed in 20 minutes.
As much as we like to have fun,
okay, we are speed running something here. Wordle. I am terrible when it comes to Wordle. However, let's throw out
Steam.
Steam. All right.
We got one letter.
I'm not great when it comes to the English language.
All right.
So 5-letter words, that's too many. I mean, yeah, 5-letter words, that's too many letters for me.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. All right. We do need at least 2 vowels, I believe. Just like general rule of thumb, I guess. So if anything, either like I feel like it's like an AI or an AO, I believe.
I know we already chose S, but let's try fails.
I was gonna say coach.
Coach might be pretty good.
Couch.
That is a double C, and we're not gonna get any of them.
Dang it! But we do know where the A is.
Yeah, that's certainly something. But now we have no other letters.
Oh, come on! You can't be. We gotta keep this going. There could be another vowel. I'm guessing it might be like an A and then an I or IA. Especially with where that A, I guess no, it doesn't have to be in the middle, but we do need like a double consonant right next to each other. Like,
I like how you're thinking with the double vowel right there, because I feel like most of the things that you expect when it comes to the double consonant there just are already out.
Blank.
Blank is a pretty good pick. Let's see.
What?
Wait, none of them.
Blank is blank.
But that did clear out a good amount of letters, so let's see if we're able to pull something out.
Are you just like casting for my Lodal play? Lodal, oh my god. Wordle play.
You're too League of Legends pilled right now. Yes, I am casting for I am casting for your Wordle gameplay because I'm not an English guy.
I want to try to implement R somehow.
Okay.
Yeah, that one.
How do we feel about
No.
I was gonna say PRA. PRA, and then I don't know if there is anything else that we can throw in there.
I do want to think. Okay, now I want to think of like the vowel team ups because I like. Okay, maybe it's not that like that, but I guess it might be. So like, not FL. Right. I'm thinking like an FRAI word, but I'm thinking that would clear a lot of letters, but I don't think there's one that could be like that. Guess it could go also in the front. Pray.
Fray? Fray is a word. How do you spell fray?
Well, I think that's 4 letters.
Okay.
PRAI.
I'm
guessing it has to be either DR or PR, or maybe there's like the vowel right in the front.
Okay.
We still have 2 vowels on the board. If we want to use one of our guesses, just put Druid real quick.
Show us Druid.
This will clear a lot of letters. You know how to spell Druid, right?
We played D&D. Come on.
This will just clear a lot of letters. Okay.
R-N-D.
So we do see a D right there, and R is used somewhere. So R is gonna be either the first or 4th letter. I could definitely see it being the 4th letter. So like Ard. Can't be guard because there's no R, or there is no U. Come on, man.
I told you, I'm not gonna be good at this.
Okay, it has to be Ard something. I am.
I am not.
Okay. Make him think. Gward. Gward. Has to be something Ard. Or something like that. Ard. I'm thinking it's blank blank ARD. That's what we're thinking right now. This is what I'm thinking. I don't know what he's thinking.
Sensory fruit.
There's no L. No L. No
Then what
L.
else? Because there's no consonant. I think R has to go first.
You think R? Well, what would go with R? Because there's no vowel left besides, I guess, Y. Looks so stupid.
My bad. My bad for my suggestion. You asked for a suggestion, and then
I already ruled that suggestion out. You can't say something I already said. We're gonna have a whole YouTube video of Daphne raging over Wordle with Chandler.
And this is the last one. It's only gonna be this clip.
It's only this clip. Make this like a whole like content creation. You won't. Will. we will. Oh,
Okay.
I kept reading will we.
Yeah, keep bringing us back, even though we're not gonna cast.
Just to play Wordle. It has to be something Ard, like Ward. Is Fward a word?
What do we think about
I think
the
that I'm about.
sneaky Y pick? I think Y might be in there.
Maybe like a second. I feel like it could be like a weird second. No, 4.
There could also be an X in there.
Ford. Or
Okay. And I mean, I just don't. Are there any words that we can make with the leftover gray letters?
we only have one vowel, but I can try a board.
Even if we use a letter that we already know is not in there, it will give
Okay.
us information.
Okay.
And we can Hail Mary on the last pick.
I do want the word to have R in the 4th place so I can prove you wrong.
Okay. Then find out Barry.
Barry. That no. That only like clears a. Parry, but like whenever you like parry a move in a video game. Yeah,
That's a word.
try that.
I didn't say you were wrong.
I know. Okay, so we don't have a Y, we don't have a P. Fward is still an option.
Okay.
I don't
mean,
know what like.
I refuse for it to be Ford.
If it's Ford. Or could I? Oh my god.
A double A
I
is
forgot
pretty
that you
nasty.
could double it.
Okay, well, I mean, there we go. Wordle's done, thank goodness.
I loved it. Didn't you love it?
No, I hate Wordle. I could do connections. I could do Dead by Daylight Wordle, but I'm pretty confident that that website potentially gives you a virus.
I've never seen it.
My antivirus pops up every time I go to that website, and they're like, "Are you sure that you want to go to this website?" I was like, I really shouldn't." But, I mean, yeah, we're sort of just sitting here. There's a delay when it comes to when they're picking, when we're broadcasting, and when things are going to show up. So, we're sort of just waiting for this next game to play. They could be forfeiting.
I think that we should go back into the quote, but I know that's not gonna happen. There are
really
other
wanna
games.
finish
If you wanted
Lodal.
to play at home, like I said, it changes out each day, and there's 5 different games for Lodal. There's also other game modes within that. If League is not so much your thing, then there's Pokedol. And Smashdol. We cleared that earlier. There's a Dota-ol. There's like a One Piece. Okay.
You cleared it. I didn't do anything.
That's true. I thought you were like, it looked like you said like loser.
No, they did it. That's what I
Yeah.
said.
You contributed.
All right.
And there's also, if you want something a little bit more challenging than Lodal, there is a game called Buildle, where it's basically Lodal, but it's items.
Oh, well, that's just the worst. That just sounds...
It's great. I love it. It's so fun. Whenever it's not an item that I ever use, and then I'm just kind of like, no.
Going into picking, we still have the same order, so we have WMU on the left and Ball State on the right.
All right.
You're making faces at the Blitzcrank.
Where is
Damn
it
you.
coming from?
They could be making a pick on something, so it could be... They could be playing something that gets pretty... I don't know, pretty countered by Blitzcrank.
Why
That's all I
Blitzcrank?
can think, really.
I mean, that is, you know what? Props to you. And there we go.
Okay.
We're gonna see a
we will
very
see a second
simil-
matchup.
I wonder how it's gonna go. And will we see another Kha'Zix? They're like, same thing as last time. It worked
Let's
last
run it
time.
back.
Run it back. Run it back. All right, dang it, guys. We didn't have a Blitzcrank. Oh, we got a new game. A new game. I am excited. Nunu is such a fun character to both play and watch. And coach whenever you have no knowledge of Nunu. All you have is, hey, here's a giant snowball. Go get it. That's foreshadowing to something a little later, by the way. That's like way down the line.
Nunu and Willow.
He doesn't know about it.
I will never.
No, you will. I'll make sure of it. And like, it looks like we have a Darius pick for the jungle and a Swain pick for the mid lane. I mean, that's a common thing if you want to possibly counter Mel. It looks like we have a Wombat Baby picking Shogath.
Now, the last time we picked Shogath, got a little close.
I think your wishes are coming true.
Got a little close.
Oh, there's the Mel ban. They're like, okay, we're going to make
side.
sure that you can't pull this off. Like last time. There's a Twisted Fate ban.
Can I rant here for a second? What
Go
kind
for
of
it.
name is Twisted Fate? All right, all these characters are semi-normal. There's Cassiopeia. I mean, that makes sense for a serpent person. But Twisted Fate and your thing is cards?
Yeah, kind of like a weird name like Misfortune. Like, well, how does that even do with your kit at all?
No, that's funny. Zed ban. So
We have a Zed, Twisted Fate, Mel, and Cassiopeia ban. We do see. I think we are a little messed up. I think Alley Plane is the Shogath and Wombat Baby is the Yasuo. And I think there's an AP. I think it's APC Swain, support Thresh, and we're gonna look at the mid lane.
yeah, so we've got a Thresh and Yasuo pick. So we might see those swaps. That is something that is possible, like we discussed. And we'll be seeing our last two picks of this match. Anyways, Pyke, and will we see Alistar? Alistar. So what are you thinking of this?
I'm thinking the Shogath and the Yasuo are about to swap,
Potentially.
potentially. Unless they really just want to.
Listen, we've seen surprises before.
It's just last time we cast, we did see Wombat Baby play Yasuo. We did see the Alley playing Shogath, so I wouldn't be surprised if that was a swap. And what are they doing in the bot lane? Those are two hook champs, and basically they hit hook champs are a big support thing. You throw a skill shot, and then you're either drawn to them, they're drawn to you. That's probably why they had the Blitzcrank ban. Now that I think about it, and both of their hooks, Pyke and Thresh, are very scary. So looks like we're not swapping around at all. I believe this is what we're going into. So 3 hook champs, Nautilus, and then technically Swain.
Modern problems require modern solutions.
Why do they all have hooks in the Darius?
Okay, so they're either hook champs or they're from Noxus.
Get out. No, stay. I'm lonely.
Okay, I'll let you cast all alone. Play by play is all you. However, so are you expecting do you think there's going to be a surprise here? Do you think that this is possibly a build that they've been playing around with and they really think that this is going to be able to beat Ball State here?
I think I want to look at they both have Ignite. I want to look at the bot lane, nothing but the bot lane and the whole bot lane, and I want to see them use both Ignite on one target and have that target be Shogath and not matter.
You want to know what I want to see? I
What?
want to see all chain or all what did you call it? Grapple?
Hook.
Hook. I want to see all hook champs, and I want all of them to take Smite.
See, Blitzcrank would have been they need to all have Exhaust. So you hook them and then they really slow and like, okay, next
Exhaust
guy.
and Smite.
Exhaust. Just if you're gonna go for the bit, fully commit.
Wait.
Have all Exhaust.
Chain. Drag them back to your...
Thresh, that's one of Thresh's abilities. He has
No.
a lantern.
I'm saying that they should each of them they'd start on the bot lane and they'd grab Alley Plane, yoink him up. The next person will yoink him. And
No,
then
that's not
bring
how
him...
that works.
Okay.
I was flipping it. I was inversing it. Sorry, continue.
Yeah, but anyways, they keep yoinking him until he's back at the Nexus, and then they just slowly kidnap each of Ball State's players.
Like if they don't have vision, then they're screwed. Why did they ban Blitzcrank? It could have been a full stack of. I could have seen Swain jungle. Heck, if we're seeing Shogath in the mid lane, then let's see a Swain jungle. Why not? And then we got Blitzcrank in the mid. Have all of them be hook champs in some way. I guess Thresh is more like a pull forward. It's not really a hook, but this is such a weird game and a great way to, depending if we win this game, end our production season of League of Legends. It would be. I'm excited for this game.
It is the end. This is the last you'll see of Ball State's League of Legends team for this 2025 spring season. So we can sort of go over the schedule and we can talk about the games after, or we could go into it. Well, let's go into them now.
You're gonna get cut off again.
We will get cut off, but that's okay. We adapt.
We adapt.
Just like WMU, you gotta adapt. Modern problems require modern solutions. So this is not Ball State's last game in this season. So the last 3 games that they have are going to be up against Buffalo, Northeastern, and Miami. So those are going to be pretty exciting games, and I can't wait to see the final scores of how those work. Daphne, where can we see those final scores when they do come up?
These will be posted on our Instagram. That is in BSU Esports. It's going to be first a calendar of all the events of. We're going into BSU Esports is where you're going to find both the schedule and the end results. And now we're going into the game, going straight towards throughout the mid lane, and we do see our hook champs going up through. Possibly going to see if they're at red buff again. They're all waiting in that bush. And they're on completely different sides of the map this time.
This is usual. We've seen this a lot from Ball State. We at least have one Ball State player roaming around to see if they could see anything. Nunu and Willump from Remy. So
we need to see him do a dance. Not those guys. We need to see Nunu's dances.
There it is.
There it is. Yes! Yes!
Really enjoying this, huh?
Yes!
Well, we're seeing the sort of spreading out of WMUs, and Ball State might be getting back to their positions that they need to.
They're good.
Well, at least Silk Flannel is heading up to the front.
There we go. Now we see.
We have a bit of an interaction there in top jungle.
Oh, yeah. It looks like they're fighting over red buff. I think it's going to be a quick engage. Yeah, there's not really. Oh, Swain is stepping up to possibly challenge it. Oh, and Shogath gets the first blood on the jungler, Darius.
Yeah, so, I mean, this is. There's certainly some early game stuff that I was not expecting. This is.
Oh, we see the Shogath using CC ability and getting an engage on the Swain, and we do see a little back-to-back between Nautilus and Trundle again. Silk Flannel is able to chunk out more HP, both flashes on ends, and there is an ignite on the Nautilus, and Silk Flannel takes out Nautilus.
This is a battle we've seen before. We saw Silk Flannel and Renegade Gang going at it in the top lane. This is expected if you know yourself and you know your enemy.
We do see a possible death ignite on Staples Ignite Wolfblood, and it's really low health, but I don't think it's going to kill him. We do see a tornado coming out from Alley Plane just to get some little poke damage off, and that was a huge chunk of health within just a short engage, and possibly another engage. Alistar is looking for it. Thresh Wolfblood misses the hook as Pyke is trying to possibly get another hook on. Without that hook, though, they can't really do much. They're just jumping off back and forth with each other.
Yeah, luckily Wolfblood was low health, but they were able to level up and be able to sort of hold their own and not have to back with. And Alley Plane and Stables are really just right there in front of them on the front lines.
That's correct. We do see, just poking off, Swain is able to use the ability to draw in Shogath, as mentioned earlier. That's like the quote-unquote hook I was talking about earlier. They're about as even health, but as CS goes, that Shogath has a huge amount of CS. And now we're going into the bot lane, Wolfblood. A lot better state, but only a half HP. All it takes is one engage for Wolfblood to be slain in this fight. What do you think of that?
Now, I mean, if we saw Ball State go with the sort of hook there, then if they had hook champs, then we could have seen a bit of a different encounter there. But no, we've got WMU working on this. And interesting enough, we do have Renegang.
Renegang is taking out Silk Flannel. Silk Flannel, very dangerously low health. He's 1 HP. They get the trade. That's not how I thought that was going to end. Very even exchange. Remy just got to top lane, wasn't able to get there in time. Now we see Wombat Baby and Noah both at very low HP. Swain does have the range advantage, but Wombat Baby possibly has the CC on cooldown. Nope, taking the chance. Waves over there. I'm collecting my gold. Bye-bye.
Yeah, it's time to get those items going and let everybody else to handle it.
There's the double hook onto Staples as Aliplane jumps in and gets Wolfblood down to a significant amount of health, but here comes Darius with the gank. Darius is ignited by Aliplane, and Staples jumps in and possibly gets a kill on Darius. Now Wolfblood, Genesis gets the kill on Staples, and now there's a huge fight. Remy's involved too as Nunu. Double kill for Aliplane, also at a very low health as Pyke tries to run away. Pyke gets a hook onto Aliplane. Aliplane flashes away, but it doesn't matter. Swain gets a Q kill, and now slowly but surely, Pyke able to use his E to get away, but it doesn't matter. Wombat Baby, really good engage on the mid laner's behalf.
Yeah. We are seeing a good amount of team battles sort of come out, and that happened a lot last match, but we'll see if that continues here in this match. So WMU was able to hold their own in some amounts of team battles. However, for the most part, Ball State was able to really bring it in. So we'll see.
Renegade at a very low health, and I thought that was going to be a short engage, but that was a whole-on fight. Trundle is just able to completely outpoke Nautilus as far, like, character-wise. He was able to poke him out. Once Nautilus doesn't have his cooldowns anymore, it's just an easy fight for Trundle, especially whenever his iceberg gets around.
I know we're particularly surprised with how they picked the same champion. It's interesting that you would stick with Nautilus, maybe hoping that Silk Flannel would pick anybody except for Trundle, but that is not the case.
All right, we did see Wombat Baby use Ghost, and we do see a gank going on in the mid lane. Big snowball coming in to hit Swain, and possibly going to kill him under turret. Yet there it is. It is stunned. Wombat Baby trying to escape, but Swain gets the shutdown, and that's a double kill for the Swain. A very greed. Didn't really get you very far in the end.
Yeah. So here's the question. All right, was that dive worth it for Ball State? Or did WMU come out winning there with gold from 2 separate kills there?
Actually, Swain got the better out of it simply because whenever that one kill happened, that's 300 gold. But since there was 2 kills, that's 2 things of 300 gold. For 2 kills, that's 600 gold. Ball State didn't get any. Listen, I don't know, didn't get any platings there. So if anything, that was really good for WMU.
Yeah, so base stats, it looks better for WMU. So I mean, we'll see if this is able to build some sort of momentum to get something going here. However, Ball State is in the lead when it comes to kills and gold.
Nautilus just used the full combo. Doesn't really have the abilities of. Now Trundle's able to jump back in with his self healing, but now we're looking in the mid lane. We just saw a Swain ult just be used right there, so now Swain doesn't have any more, like, scary buttons. And now we have a huge fight going on. Pyke is trying to run away from the big snowball coming in. Remy takes down Wolfblood and possibly getting the Pyke too as they retreat away from the turret, possibly getting some turret damage. Big Horse he can't do anything. He's stuck. He's stuck.
Okay. I will say, I don't.
Oh, we do see Wombat Baby surviving just barely thanks to some take items that he has built. We do see the Bengal Glass, and now he's taking the time to back as Swain Noah is pathing towards bot. Aliplane is able to score a kill on House, and just when Wolf finally shows up, possibly going to cover the hook, but I don't think it's going to matter. Actually, we do see Nunu on Dragon, so just their little security. As Wolfblood is just stuck under turret, not able to do much. And there we go, Nunu, Remy takes Hex Drake.
And just like last round, we went ahead and saw that just WMU does not have sight on that sort of part of the map, so it's just completely out of their control. They cannot stop it, and we've got Ali playing traveling, and
just take the CS and leave, you know? It's like, no, that's mine, and it should have been because I'm playing the mid lane champion. And we do see some more trade-offs going between Trundle and Nautilus. Nautilus is trying to bring Silk Flannel into the turret, trying to bait him in to possibly score a kill. And we do see Ali playing 2v1ing both of the hook champs, Wolfblood, hooking and ricocheting. Ali playing in. Ali playing got ignited and barely surviving and getting the shutdown. Wolfblood. And Nautilus hooking Trundle into his ice. Trundle trying to escape. As Genesis, the jungler, Darius, getting in. He's able to get some health with his bruiser items, gets ignited, Renegade, and gets Darius, pulls him in. Here comes Nunu, big snowball, punch, punch, punch. Remy clears Genesis. That could have been a really great gank if it wasn't for Nunu being there. Nunu now ulting under turret. Trundle unfortunately dies, but Remy possibly getting the kill with his bruiser items. Nunu falls, and so does Renegade.
What
was that?
We see the same thing that happened in mid we saw in the top lane. Sort of two diving for a kill under the turret, and the turret ends up taking them out. But because WMU's champion was able to damage them in the last 10 seconds, they get the kill credit. It's therefore 600 gold in their pocket, and that might help Nautilus be able to handle his own on the top lane.
That was a 2-2 earlier, so I think it was split up because the jungler was there. Ali playing, doing some jukes to escape the constant CC of the two hook champs. Very low health. Oh, and there's the Pike ult executing Yasuo.
Yeah, so just sort of positioning here in mid, and so just sort of a standstill here. Kind of even.
Staple engages on Swain. Swain possibly has ult. Here comes big snowball. And trying to go in. Shut down. We are undefeatable, Nunu, taking the red buff of WMU.
This is... yeah.
Oh, Genesis is couldn't really do much as the red buff is taken. They just kind of watch that happen. There's the crab emote. But then here comes Pike, possibly gonna get doesn't stun, but possibly has the ult. Very low health, Staples and Remy. Remy does slain the jungler Darius. There was a flash on the big house as he's trying to hook them in. Very low health. Staples, Noah kills Staples, and now Remy is stuck in the pit. Remy trying to run away, but it doesn't matter. Wolfblood on a killing spree as he takes down Remy. While Trundle's having a time.
Yeah, so just these large team fights are kind of a 50-50 on who's going to be coming out as a winner in those. So as we sort of transition more and more into this game, this seems like it's going to be a longer game than 20 minutes at the very least.
They're giving us a show for sure, as Ali playing trying to escape both Swain, the huge AP tank, and Ali playing is able to dodge the attack, but it doesn't matter. Big House gets the kill on Yasuo.
Yeah, so as
they are truly undefeatable.
Yeah. It's just really pure chaos when it comes to getting into these large team fights. So...
oh, we did see a flash on Staples as Noah almost lands a E on Staples. Nunu, Remy is path towards bot and possibly going to run in with Big Snowball again. Oh no, Big Snowball coming up in the mid lane. We do see it ran away. As Wolfblood tries to flash away, but it doesn't matter. Wombat Baby, with his tankiness, is able to take him down. Now we have Big House coming back to reclaim the minions so that way they don't die as fast. Here we go, big snowball coming on Noah, CC's him, and just constant CC back and forth, and just like that, Ali playing gets the shutdown.
Yeah, some pretty good ganks here on sort of all sides, mostly on Ball State, I'd say.
Big snowball comes back.
However,
I'm gonna stop saying that.
Yeah, that's the second snowball that's been built up, but it ends up just hitting a wall.
Oh, Remy's sad now.
Understandable. Now, that big snowball does seem to be pretty fun, so, I mean...
Okay, here comes the snowball again as Alley Plane trying to escape the 3v1. Big House gets exhausted, and there's the huge Pike execute. Nunu tries to ult, but then it gets canceled. We have Remy slaying Genesis, and I think it's just a 3v1 at this point. Big House trying to survive, but it doesn't matter. Huge tanky characters now.
Yeah, I'd expect that turret is going to fall here now that so many of WMU's champions were sort of just pushed out, and there's nothing they can do as their first turret falls.
What are we watching?
What do you mean?
It's just constant fighting, just back and forth. Like, we can't escape a huge, like, 3v3, 3v4 team fight going on. There's not really much, like, going... I guess Trundle, while all this chaos is happening, is able to push out the lanes, so that way they have somewhere that they need to fight. Just keeping them all scattered throughout the map.
Yeah, I mean, so as we're sort of heading through, we're watching as... Was something particularly funny there?
A big snowball in the Trundle's face.
Okay.
It was like, here, take a little kiss of my snowball. Mwah.
Yeah, so it's still kind of relatively even. Ball State does have a slight lead both in kills and gold, and I mean, just like last time, there's the exact same CS scored, like, sort of differences.
We have Wombat Baby misses the CC on Wolfblood, has to ghost away while both two hooks and a Darius threaten him. Here comes Big Snowball in the mid lane. We have a huge 4v4 going on right now. Staples is drug into the turret range, but slightly survives, but doesn't matter. Genesis slain Staples. And now Alley Plane is also dragged into the den. Double kill for Darius. I think we're seeing the playful in action, just double hook and just taking them into the grasp of the giant stack. That was... As soon as they land a hook, they're basically dead. Remy trying to engage back in, but his snowball gets canceled by another hook. And Wombat Baby and Remy now have no utility to jump back in at the moment. We do see some more back and forth going on between Trundle and Nautilus. Trundle taking some turret damage, unfortunately, but is able to regain that with his bruiser items. Shut down for Pike onto Wombat Baby as Rift Herald now spawns. Oh, Nunu ults in the bush and is able to possibly get a kill on Big House, but Big House is able to hook him in, trying to escape Nunu with very low health. I don't think any of them have a flash. Yep, he's able to get out there safe and sound. That was... constant back-to-back, as mentioned before, and that's gonna keep happening. Being drug into this is the double hook like threat that we were assessing.
Yeah, so I mean, as we're sort of expecting this, it's certainly not a meta pick, but it seems to be at least slightly working now that we're scaling into the long end game, as League is known for. So this quick game is becoming quite a potential long one. However, Ball State does have 2 towers against WMU 0.
All right, double hook onto Wombat Baby. Takes a lot of turret damage there, but a huge wave is sacked upon the tier 1 turret as Noah ults Staples, and Staples is able to escape. The turret now falls, no more turret threat. Staples trying to run away from the Swain ult, but it doesn't matter. He gets hooked back in and executed. Wombat Baby also at low health, also at a risk with the Pike execute. Alley Plane gets drugged back into the fight, and just one by one, the team falls. Here comes goes Wombat Baby. Another Pike execute. Back to back to back, which is what you can do with his ult, by the way. Once you get one execute, it keeps chaining, ricocheting.
Yeah, I mean, just really legendary plays when it comes to just... We're seeing WMU really shine in these team fights.
There's the hook. There is the execute again. We were talking about a gold difference. Well, now WMU with all of those, as he keeps executing, that's more and more gold for WMU.
Yeah, WMU is catching up in gold. They are forward in kills, however, they are still down in gold, so item-wise, they might still be a bit down. Ball State is not necessarily in trouble quite yet, but it is quickly getting there.
looking at the builds, we do see obviously Trundle going back to the Bruiser Arm. Oh, we have a big snowball coming back, but I think he's just passing by. Anyway, we do see Shogath obviously building tank. I think he's the only one besides Alistar obviously building a nice tank build. So whether or not they can survive the hook after hook after hook is definitely a question. And now it seems like we're pathing towards the top lane to possibly get a kill on the Nautilus. I don't know why the whole gang needs to be here.
It might be a bit of a counter when it comes to all of these team fights that WMU is preparing and at least dwindling them down. Maybe catching a bit of a lead here in the top lane, maybe pushing into that sort of Fountain and Nexus area.
Right. And here we go. As mentioned earlier, we are getting closer and closer as we are now at tier 3 turret for the top lane. Everyone's gathered about. We're not really like focused on objectives as Nunu. Here comes Remy's snowball. Is able to stun the Noah mid ult, and now Remy trying to get away with this Hex Tech Rocket Belt, but it doesn't matter. Big House is able to get a kill on him, possibly hooking someone else, but misses. And now we're moving over to Blaster 3. While this huge fight is happening, taking the opportunity to clear some of the wave in the mid lane. Now we do see Wombat Baby trying to escape the turret range as Genesis and Renegade hooking him in. Wombat Baby uses Ghost and Battle Song, it seems, and just running off. I don't think it's Battle Song. I believe it's another item that I'm just not aware of what it's called.
Yeah, so Ball State's...
Oh, no, it is Battle Song. I'm right.
Ball State's getting pushed back as WMU threatens these large team fights, which at least in this round they've been able to show that they can dominate in. So as we're sort of seeing this, Ball State is still able to push forward on those objectives and turrets, but still being pushed back by those, by various techniques by WMU to keep them in as we head into a team fight here.
Picking him off one by one. Wombat slains Genesis. So let's let this a 4v3 it looks like. Nope, here comes Remy with big snowball again. Possibly going to engage, but I don't think there's going to be enough time to save Wombat Baby. Big House executes Wombat Baby. And now we're going to a huge 1-by-1 fight again. Alley Plane falls as well as here comes a 4v3. Now the Trundle is here as Silkville possibly to stop this consistent hooking back and forth. Staples gets hooked in once, and then there's another hook onto Remy. They're both drawn into the fight as Swain picking them off one by one. Trundle's able to slay the Nautilus, but I don't think it matters. Here comes the Noah ult. Two of them in the range right now. Will taking to survive. Noah taking damage little by little. Trundle gets a double kill on Noah mid ult, and now pathing towards Wolfblood, and Trundle triple kill for Silk Flannel, possibly going to get a quad on quad. Nope, he does fall, unfortunately. Remy coming back with the snowball. That was Trundle. Silk Flannel got a huge...
was really able to turn that around there, especially with that good, really spin there on Remy. They were able to get that snowball built up and turned around to hit one of WMU's players and really just take in that team fight for them. So able to turn that team fight around even though it started in a really worrisome state.
I'm gonna say it's gonna be a lot. Seems like we're watching a lot of just back and forth of just huge slaying. Now taking the opportunity, Ball State is taking WMU's camps to deny them of any more gold than they already have.
Yeah, Ball State's still in the lead, barely, just one in kills, however, definitely in gold. So as we're sort of pushing in and expecting, well, we've got a dragon being captured. That's going to be 3 dragons for Ball State then. So really leading in on those objectives.
All right, as a huge fight's going around, we do see Remy uncontested on the dragon. Is able to take another Chemdrake, and that is going to be the 3rd Chemdrake. After one more Drake, it's possibly Elder fight is going to be happening. We do see a huge engage. There it is, Big House execute onto Remy, and Staples is able to return that kill onto Wolfblood and get some gold off of that as Big House runs off. Possibly going after Alley Plane in the bot lane. Nautilus coming to engage as well. And there we go. Big House uses ult again on Yasuo. And I do hear pinging. I do hear pinging.
Ball State is pretty scattered, and while I did say that that could be trouble in the future, this does not necessarily seem to be the case here, because while they are losing in team fights, they are still continuously pushing on those objectives, those turrets, and we're not seeing progress when it comes to WMU pushing in on turrets or even major objectives.
It looks like we see a fight going on in WMU's jungle. Renegade hooks in Wombat Baby, but it's pretty tanky. Oh, here comes the main threat. Oh, Big House misses his hook, unfortunately, so now they're pathing a little towards Silk Flannel. Here comes Remy's Snowball onto Wolfblood. He's ready to put on a show as Trundle puts down puts down his Crystal Ice. Oh, Thresh is able to land a hook onto Silk Flannel, but Silk Flannel is able to escape. Oh, their Big House was ready to follow up that hook immediately. Wombat Baby playing a very aggressive angle now. He saw that both of the hooks are down. And looks like they're just waiting. All it takes is one hook, one CC from Wombat Baby, one giant snowball from Remy to initiate a fight that could completely change the game depending on how many fall here. Here comes the snowball. And as we shift over to Wombat Baby, oh, unfortunately gets stunned, gets trapped in the box. Remy's not able to escape the giant box that is this whole team, essentially. WMU's box. Here we go. Genesis slains Alley Flame, and it gets rooted into tower range. There, double kill for Darius onto Wombat Baby. Though, while this is happening, Trundle, Silk Flannel is able to possibly take Inhibitor. There it is. First Inhibitor down in the game is Trundle. Silk Flannel trying to path towards the turret. That was definitely a very risky play if that fight didn't prolong as long as it did.
Now we are getting super minions spawning in the bot lane, so with those, Ball State might be able to push forward, and with their sort of scattered gameplay, see more and more turrets and inhibitors fall as they get stronger and stronger and potentially take out all that WMU has to offer.
All right, it looks like we haven't gotten vision on it yet, but definitely Otacon is something to think of, especially since this was a high kill game. So I'm not surprised that Ruinous is up there on the top lane, and looks like we are pathing towards Otacon and possibly going to slay it. There we have Ghost Ward on it, and the fight has begun. We do see WMU inside their jungle waiting for the perfect opportunity to possibly jump in and steal Otacon. How do you think this is going to go?
We've seen a lot of sort of these fights and WMU sort of biding their time. That we might see something, especially if they're able to get in with the smite, but that is not going to be the case.
Oh, they were able to take Otacon, but will they take all these flowers? Remy was stunned for so long. Oh, he's tried to use ult, but then it was canceled by possibly a hook. There's so much going on as the WMU box continues with Swain, Noah pulling them all in. Trundle gets a double kill, and they fell so fast.
One of the first team fights here in a good while that we've been able to see. So Ball State was able to finally really just persevere when it comes to that team fight and easily push in. And while WMU is back, Ball State is right there, ready to try and take out as much as they can as the super minions go in for the Nexus turrets.
I say, it looks like they're definitely playing to stagger this team. They don't want any more hooks to deal with, as they're not even worried about Inhibitor. They're going straight for the two turrets taking on the Nexus, and I think this is going to be a fight between what will die first, Ball State or the Nexus. I think we know the answer. Nexus, very low health, and there it goes. Nexus falls after one big team fight. That's all it took for Ball State to claim that victory.
Yeah, just really pushing in, and this is the Ball State way that we've seen. When it's sort of kind of 50-50, it could go either way. Ball State really is able to jump in and take what they can and go in right for the Nexus. We've seen this against Ohio, like we keep referencing. We just saw it there. Whenever the chance comes, Ball State is ready to push in for the Nexus immediately.
Now, what's up with them picking Shogath and just having the weirdest games? I'm very intrigued by this strategy because I thought I was solely believed that Ali Flame was going to be the Shogath again. That was definitely quite a fight. We do see the fight results on the screen.
Yeah, and we see about an 8.4 goal disparity on Ball State's side, and we were both correct. It went 2-0 for Ball State, and that's going to be the last production and live stream of League of Legends that we're going to see for you. So, exciting games. Ball State thus far has gone completely undefeated,
2-0, and I think we have an interview coming up slowly but surely. I'm excited to see who it is because I'm ready to talk about the box.
Ready to talk about the box?
The huge box. I did not expect that huge box. I'm curious to hear what they have to say about it because I didn't double hook into a Swain ult depending on if you're not tanky enough or can't live that. You will slowly but surely get melted. So I'm curious about the thought process, and I do believe we have Ali playing here.
No, I'm doing it gladly.
Hello.
Hello, guys.
All right. How are you? How are you doing today?
I'm doing just fine. Yeah.
All right.
I had a great couple of games, so.
that last game is what we want to talk about because that was.
No, we should skip that one.
What? You want to talk about the box of WMU's ult?
The box.
Yeah, hook Swain ult. How did you? I guess I'm jumping straight into it. How did you plan around that? Because when it came to big team fights, it seemed like they were just picking you off one by one. So
yeah, it was rude what they did.
Yes.
No, they had 5 champions that could pull you in. It's really disgusting. But no, we did not really plan anything. We played 4v5 the entire game. Julian was doing I don't know what, to be honest, on the side lane. But yeah, we did not really have a plan.
Yeah, we did not see much of Silk's play because we were just so focused on the going in and in. As far as planning, just at the very beginning with, just the Yasuo pick into the hooks, laning phase in general. How did it, as far as just the laning phase?
Well, I thought it was gonna be great because I can just block the hooks with my wind wall, but
yeah.
The matchup was a little bit rougher than I expected.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions?
No, I mean, this is going to be the last game that we'll be able to live stream, but there are 3 more, and I mean, in my opinion, there's no doubt that Ball State's making it to the playoffs. So, do you
I wouldn't know. I think we haven't lost a series so far, so.
I don't think so. I think you went 2-0 for every singles so far.
I think.
Oh, I'm getting this mixed up. Sorry. Playoffs is what you're talking about, right? I got those mixed up.
Yes, so playoffs is going to be the semifinals and championship. So
yeah,
we'll see if Ball State is able to make it in there and win. They were able to last year, so I'm expecting great things. And while we won't be able to live stream it, I'm going to put a lot of pressure on you.
Okay. Well, I hope we're able to perform.
Yes. Any thoughts as far as to going into it? Just preparation or just going with it with the Shogath?
The games now aren't as difficult, so we are having as much fun as possible at the moment.
Yeah.
And I hope when we're facing better opponents that we're actually able to try hard as well and actually do some draft preparation so we can go in as seriously as possible.
Right.
Yeah, so your next 3 opponents, that's going to be Buffalo, Northeastern, and Miami. They've been doing pretty good thus far in the season. So one of them is undefeated, and 2 of them have only lost once. So these are going to be a little more intense than what you guys have faced before. So
I hope so. We want a challenge.
It's so we can stop queuing Shogath.
Yeah, I think we need it. The challenge.
Yeah, and that would definitely be. I wish we could stream that. Such big games could possibly be streamed, but with spring break.
We won't let you down.
Good.
Right.
I'm excited to make graphics for it. Thank you so much. Any last thing that you want to say? Or
Yeah, I've never heard of those teams we're facing,
Yeah,
so
okay.
I'm the new kid here. Yeah, I mean, I hope there are just gonna be good matches, and
Well, yeah.
that's
yeah.
all I've been hoping for, to be honest.
Actually, one final thing. We've gone through almost the entire season. How, as far as like adapting to Ball State team, how has that been for you?
To be honest, it was quite rough at the beginning.
Oh.
They didn't take it as seriously as I wanted them to take it seriously. But it's a little bit about the opponents we're facing. Like, it's really hard to take stuff serious at the moment. But I think if we want to actually get to the next level, we need to take practice seriously and matches. So yeah, I kind of forced them to take stuff more seriously.
Like, all right,
And
boot camp
you're
now.
a freshman, correct?
That's right. Yeah,
All
first
right.
semester as well.
Yeah, and so you'll be able to really push Ball State forward and
Let's hope so.
hopefully really elevate the sport, even though you're dominating thus far.
Yes. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. That was a great game.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. And I hope to have future interviews with you.
Sure.
Freshman.
All right.
Thank you. Have a great rest
Thank
of
you.
your day.
Have a
You
great
too,
day.
guys.
And that is going to conclude our production series of esports league streams. We
It's
will.
gone.
No, they're gone. Bye. But anyway, we keep in touch with, again, Instagram, BSU Esports. We will keep update on the schedule and the end results of the games. And yeah, other than that, this has been a really great time. I've enjoyed casting with you.
Yeah, and it'll be done. No more. I'm a senior, and I'm a league caster exclusively. So I'm done with being on camera, I suppose, unless they drag me in for non-live streaming content.
They're gonna go get you for your Quizlet or your Wordle experience.
Wordle bad.
Okay.
Quizlet.
All right. So thank you so much for watching and joining us for this amazing endeavor. And GG. Have a great night, y'all.